Okay, I know what you're thinking. Some people know Shadow Fight, and they know Shadow Fight 3, and they see what I've done, and might want to ask, dude, why are you buying a legendary card when the power rate of that is lower? Well, first of all, that red number is actually a visual bug, and it actually showed 11 point something K, which was just enough for me to claim it as the strongest legendary card when I first bought the Significator. And secondly, I'm gonna show the little clip right there. Yeah, I just wanted the Void Warden set, and that's all I just gotta explain. So anyways, we're back, and yeah, I lured you with the thumbnail. I didn't lure you with the thumbnail, I wanted you to just watch the video, that's all. I'm currently the highest grinding player in the game. Yeah, I'm currently the highest grinding player in the game, but doesn't make me look happier or sadder. I just am the highest grinding player in the game of the Norwegian servers. With that being said, I just did that all after purchasing the Significator, after refreshing, probably spending over 200 gems refreshing. Now that's kind of wasteful if you want to ask me, just chasing after only one legendary card. But it was only one legendary card I had left for fulfilling the whole entire hero set. If we have a look right here, yes, that's the finished set, and that's the recently equipped set. And if you look down here, there's absolutely nothing. There's no herald equipment or item anywhere. None of them are not collected yet. I've collected every single herald card, and including the abilities. There are no grade show-off marks. Those are actually collected, and therefore we are going to run today with the almighty Void Warden. Well, I don't really consider that to be almighty as set by the set power, because I feel like the Judge set is pretty strong in that matter. Judge set actually contrasts the kind of contrasts the purpose of my little build right here, but we'll take a look at the build I have for the Void Warden set, starting with the helm. To vaporize my enemy and make them suffer more damage the more shadow energy they have, along with amplification if I want to enter shadow form and cause damage to them right there. For the Significator, I want to go with Style Dynamo that deals the highest amount of damage in my collection, and Deflection to take half of the damage, and Transfusion to heal while I'm doing shadow abilities. For the weapon, Flogging special move, and discharging my shadow energy from the opponent. I discharge the shadow energy from the opponent equal to 190% of that attack damage I do, and that is it's emphasized with the precision that does additional damage. It will double the critical damage. And by the way, the Whip Katars, by the new system the developers have created for the heroes, which is a critical charge, this weapon does the highest critical damage yet. So you have a set that does really high damage, but it also is a set that contaminates the opponent's shadow energy. And yes, and with that you have a pistol, just a handgun that looks pretty sci-fi. The whole set is pretty sci-fi, and I do like the set. It's my current favorite set by style, and may not exactly be by power. I might give the power for the Judge, but the style looks really good for the theme that I do like. And the fighting style is also really good. The Whip Katars Herald style is relatively the same. There's no difference between one armor to another about the moves that differ between armor and stuff like that. The developers didn't consider time in that, because that would have taken very long time to develop a game that would have such a system, and that would be like individual armors, which could make variants and stuff. Let's go to the training and let's explain the Void Warden set, because I know a lot of people have uploaded the video, but let's get back to it again. I smack my opponent, I do some kicks, and you will see a red bar filling up as we go. I'm doing some attacks right here with the Whip Katar knowledge, and yes, again, I will do a video where you get fully oriented with the Shadow Fight 3, everything that you need to know to find yourself home in this game. I tried to promise to bring that content. And you see that red shell bar up there. You see that red bar up there with blue lines that looks like it just got messed up with the shadow energy. Yep, that's the contamination that the Void Warden can do. And just wait, because what it does is, if it's not filled and the enemy has entered shadow form, they will receive damage when the shadow bar reaches the red bar. So if the shadow bar reaches the red bar, they will take damage corresponding to how much we contaminated the shadow energy. But if we fully contaminated our little opponent, poor E2 right here, and he has filled his shadow energy, he will take the full damage. Just watch as I try to go and not get as many discharges as I would intend to anyways. And I can only discharge when I'm hitting my poor E2 with the weapon. So I just gotta do some kicks and try to charge it up and see and watch as E2 suffers a lot of damage, because this is a testable set. So I decided, why not give it a go and watch E2 get smacked, slammed, and hit by all of the moves. Now I gotta do an attack. Boom. That damage. And with crit charge. For the game, it smacked E2 down. Now training bots were made to not be defeated, but in some circumstances like that, you just knock them out straight forward. Now, let's talk about the build. Why am I having this build? Well, it's because I want to take as little damage as possible from the opponent. The more damage I take, though, the more shadow energy I do. But I don't want the opponent to deal as much damage to me and get as much shadow energy as they can via the damage. And if they do happen to have a lot of shadow energy, my vaporization is there to also emphasize the discharge perk. And I do it. I do have vaporization to emphasize it, so that when I discharge my opponent, I will give the contamination time. The main purpose for this build is to give contamination time. That's why I also have precision. The more damage I do and the more discharge I do, the more time I give for the contamination to fully fulfill, and therefore when it's fulfilled and the enemy happens to fulfill the shadow energy bar, I hit him with the heavy attack or whatever move that I do with the weapon, or whatever move that I can do to just deal damage and watch the enemy pollute with shadow energy. Now let's just try to do this set. Let's just show off with this set already. Currently, yes, and I'm not actually intending to flex at all, because I wanted to just play until I get to reach the Legend League, which I did on the Monday, although I didn't collect 10 out of 10 coins rewards, which I wanted to get before I started trying to obtaining the armor. Either way, let's jump to a battle and let's see what we get. And let's see which opponent we have over here. Yeah, it does make a lot of difference based on the power difference and also the ability difference. Well, the ability difference doesn't really matter that much. It gives me a hint of what kind of ability the enemy may have. You can give it a try. I'm not falling for that. I was not falling for that get up. You usually do it, bot. So therefore you are predictable. Now that critical hit got emphasized by the vaporization. If that came along with the discharge, then you will see the shadow bar go completely disappearing. Yeah, it will completely disappear, trust me. Alright. Yeah, you just get smacked big time. Just get shot by my gun right here. Yeah, deflection. No, not deflection. That's damage absorption. They should make a different UI for the deflection or for the damage absorption, because one of them had to be original. They're two of the same freaking logos. We have to have original pictures, like the vaporization. There's no other cards that show the same as vaporization in the helm perks. But for armor, we have those two. From the Legion, it's called... Let me just show you what I'm talking about. From Legion, it's called, and it's legendary. It's in a legendary form. Yeah, damage absorption. And then we go down here, we see the exact same picture for the deflection perk. Just please make a different picture. Just please make a different picture and leave one of them original. I don't even mind what it is, whether it's Legion or Heralds that will be kept original or will be changed. another 33k compared to this 37k set. I wonder if I would face any 37k sooner or later, because that would actually make a more interesting battle. And I just completely drained the shadow energy of that bot. Booyah. And your corner cut never came to use because I'm, for you, a whale. 4k whale. Isn't that big, but just a whale for him. And that will be opening a lot of combos for him. Just letting you guys know. Yes, I have tactics. Better than Scar Sky. Salty. Looks like another opponent got smacked down by a little whip Qatar tactic right here. Yeah, it isn't that much to see. It's just me trying to smack down some opponents while I'm using the current set that I like by the style. And yes, your fight, your style. Just don't forget that term, what I said last time, dude. Like, don't forget that term. Your fight, your style, because it will happen when we have PvP introduced into Shadow Fight 3. I thought I would miss. Yeah, that sync though. It wasn't completely sync at all. No, it wasn't. That get out right there got you hit by the pricky move of the whip Qatars. Just pointed at you with it as it extended in onto you. Just get lifted off for a second so that I waste your prepared strike. The whole purpose is to try to hit and avoid getting hit as much as possible. But as well as you have to try to play accordingly to the perks that opponents are provided themselves with. Right, legend, win streak, something. This is a 34k bot. Let's see what you can do. And you get already shocked, which is not interesting at all. And you still get smacked by me. This is one of the everyday issues that we have to face. Well, it's not really a big issue. It just helps a lot of players get through with their league grinding and actually get to the legend league, which is good, so that we can actually collect some items and shadow energy. We get shadow energy from the booster packs, and we can use that for upgrading certain sets that we like to upgrade. And that's good for our own part. Yeah, I completely see that. We win again. Thank you game, for letting us win again. Yeah, not the most powerful mix of armor, because I have other weapons that would just mix in the set and not make it like a pure set like I use right now. Instead, I use a pure set, but it's not entirely the strongest that I have up to date. Yeah, these are more uncommon bots. And really pesky as well. You thought that would trick me? No. No, use with your freaking shield! No! I have my crit charge right here, so there's no point of you using that shield. And thus I do high damage, so it didn't really matter after all. It would be really interesting though, when things turn around as I'm trying to grind more and more and more to face opponents with higher health and also perhaps higher damage than this, because this is just, I don't know, bollocks. And low damage and health, which I completely see. Wow, I got bleeding. Let me shoot you. Take your shadow charge with no reason, as I would already use my vaporization that will always be there to emphasize the damage when I discharge you. So there's no point. No point at all. I really wonder if we are facing more and more difficult opponents based on health and stuff. Oh, you get back there. Wow, okay, that wasn't that interesting. It was a little bit interesting when we started blocking on each other, but when I just did the strong move of the Qatars, well, that would just turn the tables around. Never mind. Let's focus. Okay, yeah, that. Doesn't matter. And now I got discharged. That should lift up. Never mind. I gave it a try right there. Apparently it didn't work. Well. It still wasn't the most interesting battle, but we still got to see some durability of it. Let's see my win streak. 101. Congratulations, Boston Modern. That must have been hard to get. Void Warden, the boy. Void Warden. And the fact that I'm about to smack you already. Not that already, but you will be. In an instant, within an instant. Just like that, and you got smacked. Be happy. Actually, I do not see that many players who... not many bots who are using the two-bladed sword. That was completely the wrong move. That was my wrong response to when he did the strong kick. I maybe should have done the sweep or the back move. The back move would be more risky, so I would probably prefer the sweep move because he was about to do the kick, and oftentimes you can actually sweep at that kick to make them fall down, and there's your chance to just attack him. Alright, let's see who's the best whip guitar player. Or player versus bot, that is. But you just get shot. Trust me guys, I will try to get up so I can bring more interesting videos. Or actually more interesting combats than the current combats. Yeah, it is somewhat showing my skills because you guys are not knowing my skills in Shadow Fight 3 until you have seen all of this. Oh no, 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 no. She almost got me right there. I can tell she almost got me right there, but not this time. And look at the contamination. So that's how the contamination works. That's how the contamination works when the opponent have reached and fulfilled the shadow bar and are activating the shadow ability. I smack her and waste her time until that bar reaches the red contaminated filled ones, and they take damage. They will get knocked down if they're too low on health. Now this will be an interesting battle because this bot is 37.7k. Let's see what I can do. Huh? Oh well, that didn't work out very well. Well, that dealt a heck of a lot of damage, and you got your shadow energy discharged. Oh, she didn't. She counteracted my move. Yeah, let's go. We got some combos. We got some combos, boys. We got some combos. Don't worry. The marathon of shadow fighting. And there we go. And half of her energy is contaminated. Oh, let's go. Maybe we got one round we can actually see it in action. Well, we do always get to see it in action because I usually prick my opponents with my weapons. Oh, yes. Oh, no. You will get hit. You will get contaminated. You will get contaminated. Oh, I will be looking forward for that when that happens, miss. You're fully contaminated. That's one of the rare rounds, man. I like to see that. Oh my goodness, I want to see the damage. Yeah! I think that's gonna wrap up for this video right there. And that's how you use a set to beat your opponent and try to think through what you're building the set with to try to beat your opponent. And the way you gotta play the game with all your moves to beat your opponent. Man. Well, that was actually fun to see her taking all that damage, because fully contaminated shell energy will just deal probably 90% damage. I think around 90% damage or even less. I don't even mind. It does really high damage and it's pretty beneficial if you don't want opponents to do shadow energy damage. So that's my build. My build is meant to, again, let's get back to the set. Yeah, I made this build so that I delay her shadow energy and only allowing the contamination to get in as I damage her all the freaking time. I want to damage her, I want to contaminate her shadow energy, but at the same time I don't really want to let her or any other bots and opponents get as much shadow energy and fill their bar before the contamination is filled. I want the contamination to be filled up before the bar. So therefore, I'm taking these measurements with deflection to take less damage, and also transfusion, because all of these other protection perks wouldn't really... This could have been fitting as well if you want to do a basic attack with the whip guitars. It is pretty rapid and it neutralizes enemies at a mid-range as well. But other than that, I wanted to use the transfusion in case I was in danger. But I am really not in danger because my intent is to put the enemy into a really hard situation when you're playing the Void Warden. And these two guys right here, yeah, they are meant to suffer the enemy. They are meant to bring damage to the enemy, and this will especially go along with the precision that is used to help the discharge for depleting the shadow energy. The more I deplete the shadow energy, the more I can bring in the contamination, because shadow energy can come in faster than the contamination, especially when opponents are using spirit or shadow affinities to try to bring up their shadow energy. Discharge is the key to play the Void Warden with Boss and Modern. I hope you guys did learn something and enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in another video when I smack my opponents. Well, I got my Naginata and also the jumpsuit higher than the power, but I don't mind. I had a lot of fun with the Void Warden, and I'm looking forward to play a lot in my spare time and also in the videos. Bye!